Hi, Jen Gilchrist here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to do a Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine energy check-in for, if this is in real time, it will be, my intention was, how is this Mercury retrograde? What can we expect through this Mercury retrograde for the connection and for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine? Individually and together, as well as some spiritual advice from the angels and guides and a likely outcome based on the energies currently. Of course, this is timeless, so if you're seeing this at another time, then it's definitely applicable for you, I feel, if you've stopped by. I have not looked at the readings yet. Check the description below. I do have readings that I combine with energy work for the Divine Feminine or Masculine Collective to really align with their spiritual gifts for their purpose work, as well as for their divine union, as well as I have a wait list for a membership community for the Divine Feminine Collective that I am currently starting. So you can check the link below. You'll also get a free love and money chakra meditation when you click on that, and it will just keep you informed of the best pricing and opportunity as it gets created. So check that description out. Let's go ahead and jump into the reading. And thank you for joining. If you're new to me, say hello. If you're old to me, say hello. I love comments, and please click subscribe. I'm just starting this YouTube channel out, and I'd love to have your support if you resonate and have you in my community. So we have two, this is sort of, let's see, what is this? This is actually an owl. So this is for pile one. I have two piles. I haven't read them yet, but this is pile one. And this is selenite. It's a red selenite. I've been loving this. It really helps ground and connect with your upper chakras, but ground and clear. And it helps soothe the body and the nervous system, I've noticed. So I'm really loving this crystal. So this is pile one. And pile two is this really cute little owl. Always reminds me of wisdom and Athena. They don't necessarily correlate because I haven't read the readings. So just see which one you're guided to. The crystal, pile one, or the owl, pile two. Pile one, pile two. You can always pause this and just trust your intuition. And let's go ahead and start with pile one. Let's see where we're at on the time. Okay. So the first one is, what is the Divine Masculine currently thinking? Okay. And then I'm going to do thinking, feeling, and where he's higher self is guiding him to. So it's kind of a quick snapshot. So you'll know if this resonates with your situation, especially as I read your cards next. So the first, I got the Fool card, and the Five of Swords came out together. And so what I'm feeling like from this card is that, because this is what he's thinking about a new start and setting down maybe some sneaky ways. What I get from this is that he probably hasn't been very communicative or very forthcoming, like holding a lot of his cards to his chest. Perhaps you're not in communication right now, or if you are, you have felt like he's just kept a distance, an emotional distance, or again, not in communication at all is very likely. So during this retrograde, he's really going to be thinking about and reflecting upon his behavior in general in his life, I feel like, but towards you, towards the Divine Feminine, and just towards relationships in general. It feels like there's a focus on him really thinking about what he wants to do and be, and perhaps a brand new start with his Divine Feminine. So there are, different people, different timelines. So for some of you, he's very clear that this is with you directly. You've maybe been on again, off again, and he realizes that he's been holding back and maybe not necessarily cheating or sneaking, but probably perhaps some of you, I feel like casual behavior and knowing that you're wanting more and all of this. And then for some of you, it's more that he just keeps his cards close to his chest and kind of at first a glimpse of feeling emotional connection. He's looking for a kind of just a way to kind of disappear or pull back. So he's really evaluating that and what he actually wants. And it looks like he wants to take a leap of faith, like a new leap of faith within a new direction. And when it's in his heart is the Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of mental energy in his physical 3D reality. I'm noticing both that was the mind. So it makes sense there would be swords and reflection. And we're in a Mercury retrograde, which is all about reflection, right? But Queen of Swords is what comes up in the heart space. So I feel like he feels like he wants to speak truth. He feels like he wants to be honest. He feels like he, in his heart, he wants to be able to show up and give you the clarity that you're looking for, or that you deserve, right? And I'm seeing in this card today this little bird up above his crown chakra. I feel like he's getting messages, maybe not knowing where it's coming from, but his guidance, his spiritual guidance, angels, God, higher self, Jesus, all of that is just like really coming in to whisper down in his ears and in his dreams. And his higher self is guiding him towards the Queen of Cups. And so I kind of see twofold on this one. So his higher self is guiding him into his heart, into his true emotions, and into sharing and speaking about his true emotions. And I also see this, first off, I saw this as the divine feminine. So maybe I don't really put too much stock in, I'm not an astrologer, but it does, but first things that I thought is that some of the divine feminine could be water signs. So this felt like it was leading him towards, the divine feminine, who could be a water sign, not necessarily though, but also for him guiding him into his emotions and into healing his emotions and being able to acknowledge and express his emotions and desire toward the feminine. Okay. So that's kind of what this retrograde growth period for him is going to be a bit about. And for the divine feminine, I'm noticing that for the headspace and the mental, got swords, which makes sense, right? So Princess of Swords. So she's kind of cool. Like, I like this because I feel like you may have kind of just been coming out of, I feel like for some of you, maybe you were in your head a lot and were kind of attached to some things. And now I feel like, look how sassy she looks in this one. She's just like, oh yeah, I'm the Princess of Swords and I know my truth and I'm speaking my truth. So perhaps you had to lay down a law with divine masculine. Perhaps you spoke your truth. And maybe for a while it put you in your head, but it feels like you're able to get to the space now where you feel more confident, you feel more empowered, you feel more aligned, and like you really need to speaking your truth. And part of this, and because this is, I see these separately and together, so there's a couple of timelines here. Some of you also are doing exactly what's perfect, which is Four of Swords, which is really going inward. So this is like reflecting on what you want to say. So maybe you haven't said it yet. Maybe in the past you let some less than desirable behavior, or maybe you didn't stand in your power or in your truth, and there's something you want to say or you want to ask or you want to clarify, or boundaries or whatever it is. It's going to be different for everyone, but you haven't yet. So you're thinking about this during this retrograde. You're thinking about, well, what am I willing and not willing to accept within this connection? What is it that I need to say to speak my truth? And then some of you are feeling pretty good right now and feeling pretty balanced already, and you've already kind of come out of that space. Maybe you've already done it or come out of your head space, and you are in this space of feeling more reflective and seeing the relationship from a higher perspective and feeling really good about the fact that you are standing in your power with your truth. So that's going to be a little bit for each of you a little different. The next one is the heart space for the divine feminine during this time. And again, this is really great because this Mercury retrograde, the beauty of retrogrades is being in this reflective state. What do you want to release? What do you want to let go of, realign to, reevaluate? And that reflection time and retreat time is really essential to maximize this retrograde energy. And I got the Hanged Man, but it actually came reverse. I don't generally read reversals. But it kind of feels like you're maybe starting out feeling stuck, or you're just coming out of feeling stuck, but it feels like you're coming out of feeling stuck and you're coming into some clarity, and you're able to really reflect on your passions, like really connecting with your passions and creativity a bit more, but also viewing the divine masculine from like being able to reminisce more about the positive times, like perhaps you're starting to use your manifesting abilities to redirect out of that swords mental energy and what wasn't working, and you're kind of getting more empowered during this time because you're able to get some illumination about your own passionate creativity, which could be also as the divine feminine are being guided towards their purpose work, right? For sure. So your own passion and spark and filling up that for yourself. But also I feel like it's about manifesting, him, attracting the divine masculine back to you through your positivity and through your meditation space, through your spiritual information, and what else? And really being able to look back with a little bit more, with more like less pain and more fondness. So kind of using past situations that were positive to help manifest forward what you're wanting, right? In the union. It's like you're able to, maybe you've done some healing work or forgiveness work around this. And what the higher self is guiding you towards is Prince of Cups, which I love because, I see this, I saw this for a lot of you as you, right? In the divine masculine, I saw where his higher self is guiding him towards is the Queen of Cups. And for you, I see that higher self is guiding you towards the Prince of Cups. So he's coming along. He's coming along, you know, and it's not like they're lower than or less than or anything like that. It's just in this journey, as we know, mostly the divine masculine are not fully awake to this connection, and the divine feminine are very much more emotionally connected and understand and see it. And so they're coming along though. And so that was very sweet. And I also feel like for some of you, you know, another way that we can look at this is about you really, you know, tuning into your emotions during this time too, being honest about your own emotions as well. But mostly I kind of saw that mirroring of he's coming along right behind. Okay. Now I got some spiritual advice cards from a bunch of different decks for guidance from the romance angels we'll start with. Okay, so we've got a kind of conglomeration of things here. So first we'll start with, you know, express your love. There's a few of you, especially because I think that swords energy, like the Prince of Swords, was it Princess of Swords, did come up. Some of you may be asked to speak your truth or actually express your romantic gesture. The two cards, express your love and attraction, makes you attract more romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So this could be just in your life and in general, right? In others, like really allowing yourself to tap in and feel that heart center and express that in all of your relationships. Stop and smell the roses. Like part of this is like you getting into your feminine attraction vibration. For a small few of you, tune in, and it actually feels like he'll be coming towards you perhaps, but seeing if you can get through the inner healing work so that you can be open-hearted, right? If you want to be with him, of course, it's always personal choice, but this group does feel like your heart of hearts wants this to be together. And so how can you step a little bit more into having that being open-hearted, as if he comes around, obviously, in a way that feels respectful, because it does also say pay attention to red flags. And so this is why I think it's important for you to continue to stand in your truth, stand in your boundaries, like stand in your clarity about what you will and won't accept, and really not allow yourself to come down to accepting behavior or communication that doesn't feel great, but also just taking it slow. There's this fine line, right? Like the divine feminine already feels all this emotion. And I think that sometimes is what I've noticed has been scaring off the divine masculine in a sense. It's no one's fault, no right or wrong. It's the journey, right? However, I feel like the divine masculine at this point is still healing their heart space. And so any emotional points, it's like, oh, let me just back up. That's getting too much into the emotions, right? And so sometimes the divine feminine can have so much, right, that they're either one or the other. They're all on and they feel it and it scares them, or they're kind of in their swords energy. So this is just saying, okay, stand in your truth and your boundary. Yes, you know, kind of be in that integrity with oneself, but also open your heart and be that feminine and allow space for the masculine to come back in and to feel safe coming back in. But pay attention to the red flags in case he wants to take, you know, the old route of what doesn't feel good to you anymore, right? So detaching from drama is from Athena, which I love because the owl was not this choice, but the owl did come up, which always reminds me of wisdom. And so detach from drama. So this is like doing energy clearing. Mind, this is a lot about mind. I'm almost seeing swords in those pillars right there. So it's kind of like release the drama. For some of you, I'm just now seeing this. This is confirmation of twin flame. I know this is a twin flame reading. Well, twin flame soulmate reading, but for some of you, maybe you needed to hear that. I haven't seen that before, but I'm seeing those two pillars as that 11 twin soul energy. And it's about, you can ask Athena to help you, Archangel Michael, but releasing any cords and unhealthy attachments. Devotion, Mother Mary comes in and says, devotion, as I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I'm clear about what to do next. So again, this is her really being in integrity to herself, loving and devoting self-respect, self-love first, and then being available to the divine masculine from that space, but only from that space, right? Not allowing things that don't feel good to you any longer, where you may have done that unconsciously or consciously in the past, thinking that that would be how it would work. Like that's the only way you could meet them where they're at. But what I'm hearing is that no, divine feminine, stand in your power, stand in your heart, stand in your swords, like stand in all the different queen energies, right? Because you're amazing, and allow him to come meet you there. The Page of Gabriel, Says follow your passions. You're ready for any challenge, opportunities, and excitement for adventure. So if the opportunity comes up to travel with him, that could be a possibility for some of you. For some of you, I also feel like this is just continue following your passion with your work, right? This is about really tuning into your passion, your creativity, perhaps painting, anything that brings you joy, that sparks your creativity in your business. How can you make your business more juicy, like create things that you feel really, really good about? I love, it's one thing I support people with is creating businesses around their unique and message and soul gifts. I work a lot in the Akashic records there. And so that's a lot of fun because when you're aligned with who you are and expressing that in your business, in your life, in your relationships, abundance, joy, happiness happens, right? And I feel like being in that playful energy, which your divine masculine wants to be in that too. He just, working on that. And then the two crystal cards that came through is Love Life, Rose Quartz. So this is about for healing the heart. New or renewed romantic love for you is here. And so I see this, you can have rose quartz either under your pillow or by your bedstand. I'm also seeing for some of you that do play with crystals, you can just call in the energy of the crystal at your heart chakra in a meditation and just open up to that. And some of you might be into crystal grids, so you could do that as well. I just completed a digital course. It's just coming to my mind because we did so much about the heart activation and that our high heart, right? We have a whole another system of chakras that is expanding and opening up to our, that wasn't accessible before, right? The upper outer body chakras, and then there's our high heart chakra as well as our heart chakra. And I just did this digital course on Amplify Love and Money, where we did so much clearing work on the love story, on the money story, on our feminine energy, on our masculine energy. And it's all about integrating that for ourselves, union within ourselves. And so if you are something that just popped into mind, so you can, maybe I'll put that information below. It's a really inexpensive self-study course with lots of healing activations around this area, which is really helpful for union. And we had a specific healing there around union. I think it's $97, so it's not very expensive at all. It's way worth like $500. So I will put that below because that feels like, if not that, maybe getting some energy work with another person or with yourself to open up and expand that heart activation. The next card is rhodochrosite, and it says, be gentle with self. You've been through a lot and you need time to heal and recover. So this is like, during this retrograde, don't push yourself too much. Do the self-care, do the nurturing, fill up your own love cup, as I like to say, get the massage, take a rest, do what you need to do to really honor your vessel, your body, your mind, your emotions, your mental. Fill up your own love cup and just give yourself a pat on the back and acknowledge that this isn't an easy journey, right? It's a lot of spiritual growth. It's a lot of courage and devotion, as Mother Mary said, and commitment to yourself and to this awakening process and this journey, which eventually, for most of you, I believe, the agreement feels like right here that both the divine masculine and feminine want to be together in the physical in this life. So when I looked at the potential outcome, it's really great. For the masculine, I got the Ace of Cups, which is emotional new beginning. And for the divine feminine, I got a High Priestess card. So that's really beautiful. You guys are on track. Just keep following that. Stay true to yourself. Stay open with your heart, but with that, boundaries as needed. So that was a really beautiful reading for you all. I'd love to hear what's going on for you. If that resonates, share this out, click subscribe so that you'll get all the information. I have other playlists here as well with spiritual awakening tools, manifesting, and spiritual purposeful business. I have a wait list in the description. I will put a wait list link for the Divine Feminine Collective, where we'll be working not only on the divine union with extended readings and clearings, but we'll also be working on your purpose work, your spiritual gift, awakening your intuition, getting you in alignment with your purpose work and your financial success as well, because that's what many of us, that's what we're called to do, right? That's what we're called to do. That's a part of this journey. It's not just about the romance. So check the descriptions below. And when you put on the wait list for that, I'll be sending you a free love and money chakra clearing as well, which is really great. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye. Okay, so now we have the owl, which is pile number 2. So pile number 2. What was the divine masculine? What is in his thought, like his mental? And we got swords energy, so that makes sense. Mental, so he's thinking about coming in with some truth. Okay, he's thinking about what he wants to do. That feels like maybe there's not communication happening. Or perhaps divine feminine, you spoke your truth and now he's had to pull away and ponder and figuring out what he wants to do. But there's a part of his energy that's thinking about coming in, rushing in, and saying something, right? Creating the communication started again, or giving you more truth if you are in communication. Maybe he hasn't been, maybe he understands or realizes that you want a little bit more clarity. It's like he keeps his cards close to his chest, and so there's something that he wants to share with you, right? But mostly I kind of feel like it's about coming back in out of separation, or like maybe not a long separation, but just kind of like pulling back and forth, kind of in and out kind of a thing. He wants to come back in. Now in his heart, there's a couple of energies I'm seeing here. He's reminiscing, and this is what this retrograde is bringing up for him, right? So he's bringing up, like, what does he want to come in and share? Does he want to talk to you? How is he going to talk to you? What was he going to say? In his heart, it's feeling like he's reminiscing. Yeah, I think this divine masculine has been one that has lots of options, or been casual, maybe been single for a while, kind of likes that, but he's contemplating now. And he's also, I feel, part of this card is reminiscing about you and about your playful times and fun times, and how he can see happiness. And is this all this, like, it almost feels like what used to make him happy is no longer making him happy. So he's contemplating his happiness. What makes him happy? Is it all these different choices? Maybe he's contemplating different people if there is a choice to be made. Mostly it feels like he's just contemplating in general, what does he actually want? What is his true happiness? And I think that there's a part of him, whether he's aware of it or not, can see within the divine feminine that you have more depth, or there's something different with you. Maybe he hasn't been willing to explore it, but there's something about, like, that triggered within him wanting more, right? And he may not even realize that it was you. He may realize that it's you. I think everyone's on different paths in terms of how far they've been together, but he's contemplating true happiness, and he's contemplating if what he's doing is actually giving him that anymore. Maybe it used to work for him, doesn't feel like it is anymore, and he's thinking about options, and he's reminiscing about happy, and I feel like childlike playful times, like he feels permission to be playful with you. And that felt really good, right? So there's something different he's noticing, and he's contemplating. And his higher self is guiding him to be more stable, to balance the scales, to be more fair, to actually come forward with a more stable offer and explore with you, right? And to, again, some of you guys are going to be at taking your commitment to the next level, is what they're being guided to. Some of them is just like, explore your options, be more balanced, come in with a little bit more stability is actually what's going to bring you more happiness. So that is divine masculine. Divine feminine. So this was the thought. So your thought is Ace of Swords. You want truth, you want to speak your truth, you want to hear your truth, you want a truthful new beginning, you want communication. And he's mirroring that a bit with his Knight of Swords. Now, whether or not he acts on that or not, we'll see. But it is something that you guys are at least on the same page and both thinking about. You're thinking about what is your truth, what you want to say in your truth, what you want him to say is your truth. You want a truthful new beginning, you want communication, right? Honest communication. What's in your heart? The Lovers. Isn't that fitting? So you're actually in a pretty good space in terms of being able to see this from a spiritual perspective. You know, I'm sure this journey is difficult as it is, but in your heart, you have a heart for your divine masculine. You want it. You want this union. You're recognizing that this is a spiritual connection very deeply. You're recognizing all of the spiritual perspectives. You're recognizing that this is actually very much spiritually supported and divinely guided. And you're getting to a space of being able to surrender that better. And you realize that that's what's necessary. And you're seeking your inner strength. You're pulling from all of your tools. You've got Cupid's arrow up above there, the romance angels around. You're pulling from, I feel like, wisdom, healing. You've been healing. You're finding your inner strength, and you're still really desiring that. Again, I think both of you, I think it was in this one. Yeah, it's like that playful connection. Both of you have your inner child's kind of turned on when you get around each other. It makes the heart open up in that playful kind of way, and you really want that. You want that connectedness, and I feel there's a lot of healing going on here. And what your higher self is guiding you towards is, you got the Universe. So this is definitely spiritually, and then the King of Cups. So yeah, it's guiding you towards towards him, right? Towards union, towards realizing that there's going to be a fresh new beginning. There's completions of cycles. Destiny is at works. Divine timing is at works. And this is, I feel like it's going to, it's going to manifest. It might take time, again, divine timing, but new beginnings coming. So it's like just guiding me through the process of that and really surrendering. I feel surrendering to the divine timing. And, patience is something that we often hear and as part of this journey, but really I feel like more than patience, because patience can feel like you're waiting and you're in this waiting kind of energy. So this feels more like surrender. It feels more like just truly being in that peaceful, because when you're patiently waiting, sometimes you can be in that wanting, longing energy as well. And sometimes you can just be being patient. But when you're fully patient, meaning you're fully surrendered, and at peace in your heart with the timing, and just actively waiting by working on your own things to allow the union to come in. Okay, so now let's look at the spiritual guidance. Okay, so this is perfect. And I get career and finances are a factor right now in your love life. And I feel like first thing I feel the divine feminine is really working, there's guidance to working on getting your own stability going even further, as well as your purpose work, right? Maybe you're being guided into the more physical pentacle energy for your own stability, right? Which helps you go into the relationship without the codependent energy. I think there's lots of codependent patterns that we're all breaking down. And part of it is you feeling solid, stable, and reliable within yourself, but also your masculine maybe could be part of this for him as well. Free yourself. So free yourself. It could be free yourself from debt, from financial stress, from mind stress, from the situation. So this feels like the surrender card. All in all, feels like surrender the situation. But there's also validation. This is your soulmate. So this is your twin flame. This is your soulmate connection. This is something that you need to get yourself, make sure that you get out of your head and stay open, stay working on yourself, focus on your own physical stability for yourself, and allow this to happen in right timing. And as you continue to free yourself, and I feel purification, I see the purification, so purity in your energy, that lighthearted, childlike energy is attractive to your masculine, as well as I'm seeing almost like this fence is like swords, so releasing the mind and the worry and the this and the control, right? Free yourself from all of that, be in that childlike vibration, into the trust, into the surrender, connecting with your higher guidance, your higher knowing and wisdom. And purification, so it could be purify your body, mind, and spirit. I'm definitely feeling mind, but also body, mind, and spirit, right? So doing all of the work with your daily, meditations and energy clearing, like just keep doing your thing to like clear your own energy up. So how is this outcome going right now for this retrograde season? Now, the first card that came out was 5 of Wands for Divine Feminine. So again, you're struggling a little bit with I feel like there's a little bit of struggle going on, or feeling a little bit of struggle. So your key this month, because you can get to, they're telling you, choose the Princess of Cups, like choose to be in your heart, choose to be in your intuition, choose to be in your playfulness. I'm seeing dolphins are always like a lot of clairvoyant wisdom, a lot of playfulness, being in water. You could be a water sign, which could be very clearing, hot salt baths, using your intuition, being in your higher self energy. You kind of feel like that high priestess kind of energies where it will help you be in your playful emotions, right? Your heart and your healing in your heart, and avoid the conflict. And it feels kind of like mental conflict is your big thing, but feeling frustrated or feeling like there's a lot of effort or like you're doing all the work. It just feels like might be battling with that a little bit. And so just make sure that you choose peace, right? You choose surrender. You choose love, and you choose to love yourself, and that will help bring in this communication that you're wanting. And then the masculine actually got the victory card, 6 of Wands. He's feeling pretty victorious. Like I feel like at the end of this, he's on track. Like he's really wanting to do the work to get the clarity for himself as well. And he looks like he's on track to do that good job for himself, right? It could be also that he feels if he's working on his business, because the career and finances did come up, he could be feeling victorious, but that's great because all of that is like building up his confidence as well. But mostly I feel like he's victorious in what he's setting out to do, where his spirit is guiding him towards, where's his contemplation, like having more clarity, having more awareness of what it is he actually wants and what he desires. So that feels pretty amazing. Well, this is a great reading. I hope this was supportive. Let me know in the comments below. Check the description. I have some freebies. I have do a lot on Facebook. I have a wait list for the Divine Feminine Collective, which is a membership that's not put together yet, but it will give you the best price, and you will receive a love and chakra meditation for free just by clicking the wait list, which will just keep you informed of the best price possible, and actually ask for your feedback about what you'd like in a membership community. There'll be extended readings and healings for union, but also aligning with your spiritual gifts, your intuition, your purpose work. really building your solid foundation for yourself as a light worker and as the divine priestess that you are. So that is down below as well. And yeah, I think that is most of it. I do readings and energy work. I have lots of different ways to support people with this union, as well as, again, with your spiritual gifts and intuitive gifts and spiritual awakening process. So please share this with your friends, like and subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear how this resonated for you. And I'm wishing you all the best. Have a great day. Bye-bye.